I'm in the middle of a game at the moment. So this is the part of the battlefield I'll be using for illustrative purposes, because we've got tanks versus tanks, infantry versus tanks, and we've got this infantry assault going on. Oh, and there's a 50mm mortar over here, which at the moment is lobbing rounds, so there's going to be a bit of barrage fire there as well. Right, first unit to activate, funnily enough, is the FTs. They're being close assaulted by the German infantry over here. They've lobbed some grenades in to no effect last turn, unfortunately. So, right, the FTs are going to hose them with their 7.5mm MGs and then fall back, because there are some brain carriers in the little copse there. It makes sense that they use the MG over the 37mm, because the main gun has got a flat HE rate of 5, whereas the machine gun at very close range has got a burst effect there, you see, of 25 at a range of 50. 1, 2, 3, and that one there is at close range, outside 50 metres but under 100. So there's the burst fire data for that MG, 25 at 90 for point blank and 20 at 80 for close range. Hit adjustments, the only ones we've got is fire stationary and moving off, so he's had time to set his shot up, but he's going to cut his time short on taking this shot, so it's -10. 2 FTs against the nearer NCO group, 25 at 80, needed 80, rolled 7, which rounds up to 8, bonus of 20, so that's 45. Defensive value of infantry is always 20, so that element is knocked out. Take him off the table. Second FT is just shooting at thin air now. The fourth FT's point blank against this element, which is a regular rifle group. That's also 25 at 80, because he'll be moving off as well afterwards. 73. Wanted 80, rolled 73, which misses the 72 bracket there, drops down to that one, -30. It's a hit, but only suppresses. 2 smoke markers to denote suppression in this turn. Finally, the fourth FT, which is only at close range, 20 at 80, less 10 for moving off afterwards, 20 at 70. 20 at 70, rolled 58, 70, 58, rounded down to 63 there, -20, only damage of 5. Okay, that's the NCO group there suppressed. Alright, the FTs finished their turn by attempting to back away from the infantry, which isn't going to be that far in one of these things. Just about get into the copse heading that way. This one's got to keep within comms distance of the other tanks of the unit, so he can't go too far away or around the corner of the blacksmiths. He's got to stay close to the nearest FT. So that's them done. So I'm just going to touch on morale now. There's 13 elements in the platoon, each is worth 8 morale points. It was an NCO group that was destroyed, so that's going to be 92, take away 5, 87 is the platoon morale score now. I'm going to put that at the back of the unit there out of the way so it don't get in the way of the action. 87 morale, 14 make it easily. A couple of other things have happened on the table, but now the German infantry is activated and I'm going to fire off the 50mm mortar. The beaten zone for direct area fire is the same as the beaten zone for registered map and controlled area fire. So with a 50mm mortar, that will give us a 50m diameter beaten zone. Because of that, I'm going to allow the 50mm mortar to target an FT and a brain carrier, which is 20 for the brain carrier and 10 for the FT. Brain carrier, 22, a miss. FT, which was 10 for a hit. Needed a 10 for a hit on the FT. Rolled a 5, which gives us +5 damage. 50mm mortar is an effect of 5 HE, +5 for your bonus is 10. There's your FT. Top of the FT is 18, so it's just suppressed. In the case of AFVs, still gets 2 smoke markers for a fresh suppression. The effect isn't quite the same as with infantry. They can still fire, they can still move, but they do so at a penalty. Not like infantry where, you know, effectively they're kind of pinned down. The anti-tank rifle is going to have a pop at that FT, which you can see between his colleagues. It's a range of 325, Panzerbuch 325, armour piercing 16 at 50. Restricted view, firing past his comrades, 16 at 40. So terrain, 8. Concealment, half. So that's 16 at, was 16 at 40, now 16 at 20. 36, miss. Infantry moves up. That one there. There's a move up behind as well. Those two are pinned, they're not moving. The anti-tank rifle, 50mm mortar, obviously they can't move because they've fired. So that's them all moved up. Right, so we've got 3 grenade attacks on that brain carrier. There's the rifle groups with grenades, so we've got 2 within 50. So they have an AP rating using grenades of 35 at 90. We've also got a second rifle group a little bit further away, 30 at 80. 35 at 90, they've moved at greater than half speed to get into contact with the brain carriers, so that's times a quarter. 35 at 90 is 35 at 45, 35 at 20, 35 at 22. One miss. 70, another miss. The NCO group behind, which are just within grenade range, are 30 at 80. They're also sprinting, which makes them 30 at 40, 30 at 20. 76 also misses, so although grenades are powerful up close, if you're sprinting at the same time, it's not that easy to get a good hit. Okay, brain carrier second troop have activated, that's those 3 guys there. They're going to move up to the hedge and engage the infantry in the open. Right, slight problem with these brain carriers is that there's no markings on them to denote which one's got the anti-tank rifle, and I can't remember, so I'm just going to roll to work that out. Alright, it's the last one. So the 2 that have managed to get up to the hedge have both got shots at, well, it's over 100 anyway. I'm going to start using this chart because I've got all the data on here I need. I just printed it off separately. 15 burst fire at 70. 15 at 70, I'm going to say the target moved into view, so that's 15 at 60. Yeah, they've been moving greater than half speed, so 15 at 60 becomes 15 at 15. 94, oh good. Second one. 8, that's better. Right, they were 15 at 15, rolled an 8, oh it's exactly halfway. And 15 is not enough to knock out that approaching MG34, but it will suppress it, which is something I suppose. There we go. Well, that was brain carrier second troop activated. Now it's brain carrier first troop activated, which are in fact in that little copse there, mingled in with the FTs. There's 3 of them there. 2 with Brens, so we've got a shot each on those rifle groups out front. Range I would say is 150 and 175. 150 and 175. Alright, so they're both in the 175 range bracket. 15 burst at 70. So 15 at 70, restricted view, 15 at 60. 10, sounds good. 15 at 60, rolled 10, drops into the 12 bracket, plus 15. 30 scored. That's that one gone. Second Bren, 15 at 60. 63, a miss. So that's Carrier Platoon 1 finished with. NCO unit, so morale drops from 87 to, oh, let's see, 79, 74. .66, so they make that. A couple of other things have activated on the table, but now it's a turn of Carrier Platoon 3, which is 1, 2, 3, those there, plus that one there, which is part of the command section. We've got 2 at a range of 100 against these 2 rifle groups. Range of 100, burst effect 20, chance of 80, so 92, not a good start. 40, needed 80, rolled 40, stands to reason that's right in the middle of average, so no adjustments, basic 20 damage, which we know infantry have a defensive value of 20. Regular rifle group, so reduces their morale from 84 down to 76. Roll for morale for the Panzer Grenadiers, or I suppose it's Schutzen really, isn't it? 8. They make it easily. Let's do the one that belongs to the command section. Point blank Bren, yeah, it's within 50. Burst effect of 25 at 90. 25 at 90. Oh, now the thing is he going to move? I think he probably will fall back. So he's going to fire and move. 25 at 90. Firing and moving back makes it 25 at 80. Not too much of a sacrifice really. 25 at 80. 7. I don't need to look that up. 7's a bloody good hit. Had 25 anyway. Defensive value of 20. That one's had it. That platoon had a morale of 74. Take away 8. Now got a score of 66. Roll for morale. 18 makes it. Doesn't drop a level. So let's sort him out. Let's fall back to there. Scout car into some sort of supporting position as well. Right, one of those Brens has got an anti-tank rifle. Range is 150. It's in the 175 bracket, so AP of 15 at 70. Exactly 70. A penetration of any sort, so he's going to be stunned. The Panzer 35Ts have just activated. Now they've got a slightly lower morale of shaken level, so they're not going to advance. German High Command is, or on table commander I should say, is rushing to try and help them rally. 49, so they rally a level. They will be able to advance now if they can get to cover. Right, so let's move them forward into this swampy area where there's a bit of cover to be had. It's going to be a bit of a long shot this. I'm going to have 2 shots, one at 450, the other at, yeah, it's going to be 450 as well. 450, so they're in the 525 bracket, short range, 30 AP at 70, 30 at 60, 30 at 50 for intervening troops, 30 at 25, 30 at 12.5 for moving quickly. Plus the FTs are in cover, so it's not a viable shot. Okay, the Schutzen have activated. That's these ones here forming that line with the dark green bases. My different platoons have different coloured flock on the bases so I can tell them apart. Let's get the 50mm mortar out of the way first. He's over here. He's seen these two Bren carriers hosing his comrades. I'm going to let him plop around between the two. Open top AFVs, 20% chance. 83, no good. 57, no good. Oh, he got an anti-tank rifle there somewhere. Where is he? Oh, he's over there. 125. Panzerbush, there it is. 125, gone in the 175 bracket, so 27 at 70. So 27 at 70 becomes 27 at 65. Going to keep the anti-tank rifle stationary, so 27 at 65, 80. In cover is half, so 27 at 65 becomes 27 at 32 and a half. 18. Now 32 and a half is right in the middle of 30 and 35. Rolled 18. Front of a Bren carrier is 10, so one's gone. Not too sure whether that would have been an NCO in that Bren carrier. 3 Bren carriers. No, it's not. So that's just a black one on there for them. 11 elements, each worth 9 points. Lost 1. So that's predictably 91. Just count. Let's just put it on the end there. 91, and will they crumble somewhat? No, they don't. 56, they make it. Okay, what else we got for the Schutzen to fire at? 3 Hanomaks, MG fire against the Brens. The armour piercing effect of these is really probably just getting bullets and shell splinters and stuff to fly into the vision slits and things like that, so that's how we explain. I mean, there is some armour piercing effect of from the MG34, but anyway, so 175 short range, armour piercing only 7, so on average it's not going to penetrate anyway, which kind of makes sense. Small target, 7 at 65. It's burst fire and the target's in cover, so 7 at 65, 7 at 32 and a half, 7 at 17. 53, a miss. 60, a miss. 69, a miss. Now I think they're going to have to charge forward and use grenades. Let's do the 2 MG teams first that I've got right up to the hedge. Grenades, point blank, armour piercing, 35 at 90. They charged at more than half speed to get into that position, so that's 35 at 90, 35 at 45, 35 at 22 and a half. Nothing for the cover of the hedge because they're both equally using the cover. 60, and that's one miss up there, and this one down here. 86, another miss. Well, that's not very good, is it? So grenades from those 2 groups against that one at just inside 100, and grenades from those 2 groups at that one just inside 100. A little bit longer range, 30 at 80. 100. Let me just get the this firing out of the way, and then we'll do the wild card. Miss. 28, another miss. And 88, another miss. Alright, let's do this wild card. First it dice for the area of effect 71, which is a morale effect. And then you dice for the actual wild card 07. Visiting General, extra high command level, it says. Right. So there we go, I've just popped officer group on the table. Just some random officer group I've grabbed and a random sort of command vehicle. It just means that if you want to use the higher command officers to help rally a unit, we've got an extra one now. So that's it for the Schutzen, unfortunately. The grenade attacks came to nothing, they've advanced a bit closer, and yeah, that's it for them. Right, last unit to activate is the Panzer III Commander, I think. All the other tanks in his unit have been destroyed, so the only one left is the stunned Panzer III Commander, who is going to try and take out that brain carrier at 150. Panzer III, 47mm, 150. Oh, it's point blank range, penetration of 34 at 90. 34 at 85 because the brain carrier is small. 34 at 42 because it's in concealment. Sounds like we're having an airstrike here. 78 misses. So at the end of the turn, take off one suppression marker. So freshly suppressed elements will now only have one, and elements that were suppressed this turn from the previous turn but weren't resuppressed recover. They lose all their single puffs of smoke. So there we are with that quick look at one turn of various types of combat. And we also touched on, well, we touched on wildcards there, didn't we, and a bit of morale as well. And I hope that clarified a few queries you might have had about the combat charts. You can find the VainGlorious rules on Wargaming Vault and the forests on the terrainshed.co.uk website. Hope that was informative. Thanks for watching.